Hey everyone, and welcome back to Transport Fever. This is the Great Western Railway. We're watching our new passenger line kick into life right here in Ivory. It is an utter success, as you can see on the platform. This guy is heading off down the new line that goes round there and down the valley. Today we're going to extend that line from this end point way over here at Saturn. We're going to go the other way and continue it into the middle of the map. Lots of topology type conversations and just in general how I like to approach trying to get a train track through an environment but fully planned for the future. So I think what we should do is just jump straight into it. I think the obvious thing here is as it comes out of the station, we are going to need some point work and also a way through town, and I think these people are just going to lose their houses. I'm going to surgically just get rid of those. I'm also a little bit worried about the hump on these roads, so let's get rid of the roads first and we'll deal with that. It looks like this environment has got to the end of its days, so let's get rid of that edge of that field. That's like a dry grass field. Actually looks like there's actually some spill over here. The town has grown into it a little bit. And let's get the tracks going. So when cars go over tracks, the tracks have to be horizontal. So if this was on an upgrade, what you'd get is like up, flat, then up. So we definitely want to leave the station flat. So that's the first thing we'll do. And so we'll force that to be flat. And do that. I'm going to do some terrain leveling. Let's do a nice circle one, not too big. And I'm going to grab from the track and come out sideways, and we'll flatten that out. I expect to do a fair bit of terraforming to get this looking right. I don't expect to use the terrain as it is too much. I'm going to keep on going out a little bit more. All right, we can put that road back, I think. And you can see that it happily went across. Is this one? Yeah, it looks pretty flat. And then there's a dip down there, which is as good as it gets. All right, so the next thing we need to do is work out whether we're actually going to stay at this height as we go across. Actually, we just need to scout the route. I've already scouted the route. That's why I'm kind of being bold about this. My plan is to follow the curve and then come through here. My goal is just to miss all the farms. And so to come around here, and we'll have to deal with whatever bump that is. We'll come through here. We can't be too close to the intersection because a crossing or maybe a bridge or whatever it is, you'll get a dip or something. So we won't be too close to this corner. And then we'll come across here. We'll miss the mountain. This is just be 2 tracks, so I think we can get 2 into there. This is a good spot where we kind of can set up for the future because the angle is going to be pretty consistent. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put it through horizontal for now, and then we'll just attach a second track just for reserving the space. So as you can see that we are a bit down. Looks like we drop as we go that way. So just putting a little piece of flat track kind of does help give you an idea of what's going on. And then we keep on going. So as far as planning goes, what I might do is I'll bring up some of our big, new trains are turning up. So we'll need, that's the cargo line. That's the passenger line. Actually, I'll just use passenger lines here. And this one, yeah, lots of new trains turning up. Awesome. Yeah, we're definitely in the era. Now we've got past 1905 and stuff. Things are definitely kicking off. Right, so let me just move these kind of out of the way. I'm just bringing them up so we can see stuff. Wow, so many trains turning up. What we have is set. We set it a quarter. Okay, that's good speed. All right, so what we've got is turning off a lot of the noise. A train line that comes across from big town to big town to big town to big town, and then Maybury is a T intersection, and then it's dealing with this and going down to a big town over there. And then last time we added this spur line to the end here to get Saturn online, and then this guy's going to push this way and is going to go into Montguthrie, and then we have to get to Swinton. So the obvious thing is just to follow this round And you can see like a nice tree route through here. So what I'm surveying for here is the least amount of disruption, and also somewhere that's relatively flat. So through here, somehow through Hallion, probably through that gap right there actually, through these trees, around here, staying to the left of the lake, I guess, or maybe actually through here. Yeah, probably through there, and then along that tree line, and then we'll get into Swinton. So there's definitely a line that goes across the map. So that does make me think we should stay more upper rather than dipping down to the water. Also, there is, I think that's got a bit of a slope to it, so we may have problems with that. And then this way, after we have this cross one, we'll need a spur line that comes that way for these guys. So that will probably follow this road, I'm guessing, and somehow come through here. And then, yeah, follow these trees through there, knock some houses out through there. And then, yeah, it might have a weird time through here. Follow the road. And yeah, it's a very tree-lined approach. So there's definitely going to be a need for a through line that way. So that's going to be 2 tracks. End of line that way. So that's going to be 3 tracks. And then we're going to want to split out the cargo and the passengers at some point. So maybe even, I don't know whether we'll have 2 stations or 1 station. We'll probably just do 1 mega station here. So from a height point of view, we know we're going to have to go forward. So we want to definitely have the tracks or the station at a level that's plausible to turn left. I think this guy probably is going to set the standard. So we can get rid of these now. Close, and close. And so I'm actually going to use them to set this all up. So let's level this out, and I can always bring it back again. Benefits of close to infinite money. So that realistically is where we're going to be, in here somewhere. I think we can get rid of this road. I think that's destined to be where the station's going to be. And I think because I don't want to go up to go down, I think we're going to sacrifice these as well. And let's continue doing that flattening. And then we'll bring that all back and we'll smooth it out and make it better. I think we can get rid of that. And I actually might smooth this area. Yeah. And so same thing goes with this way. I think this road will have to get rebuilt. And I think we have what looks to be the starting of a new railway plan. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys get bulldozed. We might put it a little bit more to the left and then have another road. But yeah, and then, yeah, let's keep on deleting stuff. And then, as much as I said, hey, I'm going to keep to the terrain, we'll bring it back though. We'll use this as a guide. And so we have our track here. So the question was this the same height? So we're going to come in here. And yeah, we'll cut that out. And it'll be something like that. So if we go up and down, we can see that from a horizontal point of view, we're very, very close. This land is very, very close to the height over there. That's roughly where we want to be. We don't want to be too far off of level when we're going to have a huge freight line. So we can accept the natural grade here and do that. And so let's start from here. And we'll go out this way, and realistically what I'm about to do is actually set the direction for the station, because this is going to be what it will be. So I'm going to try to make it semi-parallel to the road, and we'll keep that flat right there. And let's try going this way, and I think it's just a matter of doing that. And we'll cut this out, and we'll push all that down a little bit. We want a tunnel. I don't know if I want a tunnel. I'm not a big fan of tunnels because you just don't get to see the trains. It is quite a short one though, and it does give us an opportunity to get a road over the top. That's actually really worthwhile. Getting roads under and over is very problematic. So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I'm actually tempted to really come out here with this bigger road, and we'll come out this way. Actually, those roads are huge. I do have a mod installed that gives me these massive roads. Is that what these are? No, how big are these? Yes, these massive roads. I don't think we actually want that. I think I might... Yeah, I think I might downgrade these ones over here. Because, yeah, that's a bit excessive. And let's get the road out. We'll go this way. And, yeah, we'll get it down to this grade. And then... Actually, I probably went a bit far then. I think what I could have done, I was trying to avoid this guy. But yeah, I think that works. Keep that level. And just skirt around that thing. And I think we can keep on going flat. Join that in. And then we can go up and over. And just keep going more this direction. So I want to get up and over that. So we'll just use the height, natural height there. And before we know it, if I can get this connected, we have the new intercity route. And it's kind of cool that it's close to the train route. Awesome. So that reconnects the town. We've got a couple of little wonks here that we can fix. But there we go. Into town. Everything's great. And then we can smooth all that out in a sec. Let's get that second track down. Yeah, I do like the little gullies. I think they look great. Yeah, that's looks pretty good. I like that. And yeah, it solves the town access problem. Yeah, cool. Right, let's keep on going this way. So realistically, we need to get over this road. I'm wondering, yeah, where our height is. So let's just draw a line out and see. Realistically, if we go to here, it reckons... Okay, that's definitely come down. If we come over here... Actually, if we just bring it all the way over here, we'll know in general how close it is. So it's going to be lower than where we are now. So this is in specific mode. And it looks like it's like halfway between the top and the bottom. So we have to do a little bit of downhill. So we can afford half of it to be flat and half of it to be like one notch down. So, yeah, so we actually need to climb. Was that correct? Yeah, we need to climb a bit. So this is, if we do this down, okay, we've barely had to climb. So that's level. And that's the road level. So I'm actually going to keep this on the level and then we'll actually fix the road. Yes, we'll come down there. I think that's okay. And then I think this road probably will be removed or a bridge over again. Yeah, this is going quite well. And then now we have to work out the slope. So I think it was roughly one notch up. Yeah. And then should be as simple as that. So was this the left or the right track? This was the right track. And 70 is a little bit slow. So what I might do is we'll come out straight and we'll come out one step down. And that actually is getting it, I think, down to closer to what the level is of the houses there. And then we'll do a nice wide turn. Try and keep this as wide as I can. And I'm still aiming for roughly that point. And let's get all this done. Pull this back. Now this was level, remember? So we need to get to that point on the level. And so are you level? That's exactly level. And we'll go through here level. Now I have caused us to do a left versus right there, but this way we get to keep the speed up. And so in theory, if I do that, all right, so we need a longer curve. And we'll go level. Yeah, don't be afraid to relay track. It's worth it for the long term. And we definitely are coming left to go right there. So we can definitely afford to come more that way. And I think with that amount of rebuild, we're looking at a slope that isn't too bad. We've gone up a little bit. Carving's okay. We've come across here. We've got a reasonable height through there. Straight track. And then a slow rise through there. And then back to flat. So yeah, main takeaway is approach the roads at flat so that everybody's happy. So that way the tracks are flat that way and then the road's flat that way. You can see that the road is horizontal and then this is weird and this is weird. And same thing with the track. If this wasn't perfectly level, this would be level and this would be up or down, and this would be up and down. So this area is always flat. In fact, it's actually true of all intersections. This intersection is flat too. So this will be all horizontal and then that goes up. That looks it's relatively flat. This looks like it's coming down. So every junction is like this little plateau of height. And then we chose, you know, we dragged it out, got the general idea of what the overall grade is. And then, yeah, it made it all nice and smooth. And that's it. I think we've got that part done. And the good news is we didn't have to put any bridges in, because bridges are so hard to get right. And you know what the really good news is? This is actually really detailed in the first place, so we don't have to worry too much about detailing, which is quite good. And then as we go forward, passenger trains can come off and stop, and freight will go flying through. And then out the other side, they'll come out and continue on the main line. And then passenger trains will, on the other direction, come in and then get to this point. Freight will fly through and then they can peel off. The passenger trains can peel off and go over here. We actually should have, I don't know if we need a signal there, because there's actually no way of not going that way. Yeah, so we don't need any more, we don't need any additional cross tracks. Let's work this out. So I think from experience, I don't know that's high enough to get a bridge through. We'll waste a couple of seconds on this, but I don't expect it to bear fruit. See how this segment's really long? Much like in City Skylines, you can force a node. So I'm just going to drag a track out until it's happy there, and I'm going to drag a track out until it's happy over here. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And don't destroy the house, please. And now we have a node in the middle that's nice and short. And I've got a feeling that this is not going to work, but we'll give it a go. Let's bring... Actually, we'll try this road depth. How deep is that? So we can push this out. Yeah, that's barely very high at all. But let's drop this down a little bit. It is... You do have to come down a fair bit for a road to work. And... yeah, so if the road is going through there, realistically it's going to be about that deep so far. I don't know if that's deep enough. So to get a bridge over a road, so the two choices are the rails go over a road as a bridge, or a road goes under rails as a tunnel. So like right now I didn't get the bridge option, But if I do a road, you can see how it wants to go up. Now I can use the arcing, which is M and N. So that's up. I can go down. If I go down far enough, which is not possible, yeah, it can't work. It can't even put a tunnel under there. So I got a feeling that's a long, long way down. We'll give it a go. We'll give it a little bit more depth, but we're getting to extreme depth point of view here. I might actually sacrifice that building just for the sake of it. Yeah, so we're looking quite deep there. Kind of ridiculous. Let's put the track in. See if, we still don't have a bridge option. So it has to be even lower. So yeah, I guess the point where it's just not worth it. Actually, I think I'm going to have to destroy this house. And equal the land out. And yeah, I don't think this is going to be worth it. And there we go. We have a bridge available. Let's try bringing it up a smidge. I doubt it's going to work. We may lose the ability to have a bridge. So I'm using the up and down to bring up the land, and then I'm using the equal tool to make everything the same height. Okay, we can still do it. Let's keep going. Little smidge. Stop trying to build houses, please. And yeah, now we're back at the limit. So let's put this in and see what it looks like. One small touch. Drag it out. Please stop building houses. Okay, let's do this, see what it looks like. I don't have high hopes. And we'll go down to there. We'll make it wherever there's a pillar. And actually, I'm going to drag it a little bit further past. And then let's see if I can get it up a little bit. So I'm holding down shift and period and comma. Yeah, see how the pillar's not being modified on the left-hand side there? Because the pillar's now stuck in stone. Well, it just won't be modified. So, but we can do that. And then if we don't like the slope is kind of like very stark. We can use M and N. So that makes it stupid. And so you actually can go like up. I think, yeah, let's do it there. About there will do. And yeah, it's kind of silly. And we'll come out the other end, and we'll give ourselves some space. But you can see how deep that is. It's kind of ludicrous. And yeah, it's something. It's kind of janky, isn't it? And yeah, as you can see, yeah. So the pillars are a bit in the ground because of the way it worked. Yeah, from an aesthetic point of view, I don't know if that works or not, but yeah, we'll leave it there for now. All right, enough of that. Let's clear all this out. Make sure it's all not grass farm. And we may delete that. And of course, we can get rid of these tendrils now. That gave us the nodes. But yeah, that's how you get a road under. But it's kind of, yeah. Ugh. All right, so we have the tracks that are correct. We'll need a whole lot of signals. We can worry about that in a sec. And yeah, looks pretty good. Let's do the other end and get a nice big station in here. So what I'm thinking is the nice British one, of course. I'm thinking 4 platforms. I'm actually just gonna go full hog and we'll make a beautiful big platform. I'm gonna make it longer, but I'm actually going to delete it. I'm just using it to give us some distance into the world. Because risky, I want the end of it to be around here, so we have space to turn left. And I think that's pretty good. We're gonna need space to. Actually, I'm gonna do it again. We're gonna need space for the cargo lines, and so I'm actually gonna dock it on this way, and then we'll put the cargo out here. Yeah. All right, let's configure this. And I'm going to get rid of that, and that, and that, and that. And I think how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't think I want 160s. I think I want 120s. So I'm going to get rid of this end. Is that what we want? Yeah, that should be fine. And then we're going to have to modify these. Yeah, and then we're going to put in the platforms that have a stark end like this. If you've been watching the series, you've seen me do this a bazillion times, so that way they can't walk off the platform. And yeah, we're going to have to destroy everything at this end too. And do the same thing. And then, do we want to put the bridge on? No, not the bridge. I mean the lid. I'm inclined not to, actually. And then the stair goes towards that direction, which is the way you'd want it. I think this station is going to be busy enough and important enough we'll actually have one on both ends. Yeah, I like it. And then the glass in the middle. Did we lose the gatehouse? So yeah, we got the two. So this was the ticker hall, and this is like the waiting room. So you might have a cafeteria in there. And yeah, I'm happy with that. I don't think we'll need the track out here for that. And then from a cargo point of view, let's put on these. I'm actually going to make these a bit longer. And then tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I expect to have the need to have a siding here. So I'm actually going to put these tracks on straight away. And I think that will be the limit. And then from a access point of view, if we put tracks out here, we can then put the cargo building right there. And we want that side and we want that side. And I think we are nearly done. We've made it very hard for us to do the point work, but it is what it is. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. And I don't think I'll bother showing on camera, but I will obviously re-detail this whole area. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is going to go. And we'll put in an entire industrial area here with storage yards and all these other things. And yeah, that will work great. So let's put some tracks in here. For now, I'm not going to bother being ultra complex and working out how all the routing works. And then out of the tunnel, we're going to come out at high speed. Come on. I'm trying to get an 80 at least. There we go. Is 80 okay? Yeah, that's actually, they're really, really tight. Okay. Ugh. That's actually a bit yucky. And 40 into the station. And please match, please match. Why aren't you snapping? Yeah, you snap. And we have, come on. We have the makings of a freight line. Yeah, I don't like how close that is to the tunnel, so we might have to push that back. You know what? I'm going to show you how to do that, I guess. Oh no, it'll be fine. What you do is you just delete the tunnel and rebuild it, and then it should... Oh, actually, I'll just do it. If we put it back, we should get the option to say, hey, cut it out. And that's how that works. That's how you push back a tunnel. Yeah, so we just have that tiny little crossover, which makes sense. And then we'll use terraforming to push all that back. Sorry, cough. We'll have to get all those tracks cleaned up. But for now, that would do. This is definitely terrible. Let's clean all this up. And we'll go from here into there. And I think we have the startings of a new era in the game. Let's extend the passenger line and get them moving over here. Actually, this guy is right there, so it's easy to click on. Manage the line, Ivory to Tanny, which is that one. Please come over to here and then go back to there. Done. Right, let's get some roads going around town. Got nice big roads here. In theory, because we've leveled everything out, it should all just work quite nicely. And let's work out an easy way for that to happen. I think straight into there makes sense. And then I think we can come straight through there. I'm just going to follow that line that they give us. Square the whole thing out. And I think that's pretty good for now. What am I going to do about these houses? Let's just give them a quick smooth gun. Go a bit bigger. And that should make that less egregious. Smooth gun, particularly around there. And you know what? This might be a good place for one of the proper road-based depots. I expect this to be a very busy area long term. So let's put down one of our cool mods that has an in-street one. So this one is single lane, this one's double lane. Also small roads, this is a small road. And this is basically one lane either way and 2 lanes either way. I'm just going to do one. And on the right hand side we should get some type of bus station. So we want kind means no. So that's so on the road we're getting pull-outs. I don't know if it's, you can see how at the bottom there's a little wonk. It's hard to explain. So let me put it down. I'll show you. So right here we now have this indent. So this is the bus stop, and so buses and stuff come in here, pull in here, and then leave. So yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll use this for something else, I guess. Let's just quickly clean that up. The one thing I do like when you have a lot of money is you can afford to do a lot more of this, you know, bulldoze type thing, where you spend the time laying out roads quite nicely, and then it doesn't, you know, you spend the effort on making it look nice rather than worrying about money. Fine, you can be like that, and we'll refund that one. I'm just following all of these nice white lines. And there we go. So there's going to be so much growth around here. This town's definitely going to love this. It's a pity that I put that where I did. All right, that's if it doesn't work, fix it, because now's the time before the growth happens. Let's move it along like that. Actually, I'm going to put it really close to where that staircase is, so that way it's fast for them to walk in. And we have a road. Let's do the very, very quick drop around. So I think we're going, is it anti-clockwise for when we're going around towns? It is, yeah, looking at the green here, anti-clockwise. Lost where we were. Down here. I can't believe we're getting Guthrie online. It's been one of those things that's been on the to-do list for so long. I'm going to go way out here because my expectation is we are going to grow extensively. And you know, I might do an outer one, which is what this one is, and I'm going to do an inner one using that other one. We actually have 2 routes. So this one will come this way and go this way, so we need to go this way. We'll do this as an inner route. And yeah, that should work. So let's make some lines. New line from here to there, to there, to there, to there, to there. Guthrie road loop. No, the road, I think the loop station. And then we'll call this the passenger in Guthrie outer. And then we'll have a new line from here to here to here to here. Why didn't that come in this way? Oh, because the loop thing. I kind of messed that up. That's fine. And then we'll call this the inner. And then let's give these colors. They're going to be green and green. I think the inner one, I might actually give it a slightly blander color. And we'll need a depot. And let's put it relatively close to everything. Let's put it maybe out here. Actually, I don't want to waste what could be growth. So, and because you buy stuff so infrequently, let's put it way out there. And so I know it's going to happen in the future, I'm actually going to put the tram one out there with it as well. We'll do them as a pair. And for now, we'll just put buses on the line. We have this new bus, so let's use that. We'll put 5 on the outer, and we'll put 2 on the inner. And I think we have succeeded. So we've got around town, instant growth, and then we need to bring cargo over here, but that'll be next time. Let's go find our train and see this in action. Where are you, train? Oh, you're way at the other end of the line. So let's just double check that this guy is configured right. So I think I was messing with the timings. Yeah, so let's make sure that everything's on 0 and 30. And yep, everything's good. One of the things I will do is, as you can see, it's 55 out of 55. Let's manage the vehicle. And I'm going to give it a couple more carts. I'm going to give it, we'll get it up to 120. And yeah, give it way more capacity. And it's going to turn around. And then we'll re-adjourn with this when it gets to Ivory, actually to Tannery, the old end of the line, and we'll watch it go to Mont Guthrie for the first time. All right, we're coming into Tannery, what used to be the end of the line. Signals are letting us cross across to the platform. And it looks busy. Can't really tell whether that's for forward or backwards at this point. But there is a lot of people there. We've got 47 out of 110, so that's pretty good. Usually most trains can make a profit if they're about halfway full. So let's see what happens here. Most people unloaded and 9 on. Okay, it's a new line. People haven't had a chance to walk across to this guy yet. And so this guy will peel off, and I think, have I made the mistake? I have made the mistake. We are not on the correct side of the tracks. I think I'm actually going to press pause and quickly fix that, because this guy needs to pull out and get all the way back to the left. And I think we want to do that here. I don't know if it's going to fit. We might have to do it over here. Ooh, come on. Because you can't do it on bridges. So as soon as I go over the bridge, I won't let you do it. Let's do that. And will they go across? They will. And that's cool. And we do need somewhere to put some signals that will force it to be one way. So while this is thundering along, I'm going to put it there and there. And I'm going to configure both of these to be one way. And then that should be enough to make the line, yep, the line go either way. So yeah, let's join this guy as we go through our little forest for the first time. Cool little sweeping shot there. Lots of detailing is needed. We need to get rid of the ballast grass problem. Lots of trees and bushes and fences and lots of stuff. I'm okay with this. It came out nice and flat. Gentle rise into town. How's this side look? Yeah, that looks pretty natural. The embankment here is reasonable, not too high. I don't like to get rid of these embankments because it kind of shows the history. Like, you wouldn't in real life cut that down just for the sake of it. So basically they would cut down the rail, push it up to the left and right, and that would be it. There's going to be a little bit of a climb here, so these older engines, which will run on this line until the rest of the game. The plan is to run the older stuff way out here. They're going to be barreling along okay. This guy's doing 60. Its maximum is 60 with, I think, either the engine or the carriages. One of those has a limit of 60. This tunnel came out lovely and small, just enough to get the rotor over. So that makes sense. You know, they would invest in that. There's some egregiously bad square walls there that we'll have to terraform. And around the corner, I am a little worried that all this point work is so close to there. But we'll work that out. And then over to here. The only thing that I'm maybe a little bit uncomfortable is this is going to be the main line that goes through. And we probably want it to be over there on the right hand side because I think the spur lines need to go off that direction. And so that might have to get jigged. So yeah, I doubt this is the final combination. And it looks like we unloaded 9 people, picked up 39, and we can actually class that as an immediate success. We'll leave the episode there. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch more of this Great Western Railway action as we definitely keep on forging forward into the west. I'm pretty sure that's west. And join more and more towns and more industries and get definitely a reason to have more and more locos on the network. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.